Okay, it's been a couple weeks since I did a garden walkthrough. Here what we've got going on. We got some volunteer. Oh gosh, I don't know what that is. It's some kind of grain. Maybe it's not really, I don't think it's oats, it's maybe rye. Anyway, there's onions down in here. Peas, they're the peas I don't like, but I decided I'm just going to let them go to seed and peel them out of the pod for green peas. These carrots are doing awesome. They're getting pretty big. I've got garlic in here with them. Some volunteer dill. I got one little lowly pepper in there and a sunflower right there. This bed of potatoes is doing awesome. They haven't started to bloom yet, but they're growing like gangbuster. I had all this wheat in here with this garlic, and went ahead and bent it over so it can go ahead and cure, so I can harvest the wheat. And then the garlics, I've already topped off the scapes off of them. And then I have another batch of carrots, which are way slower and way denser packed, so I'm going to have to go through and kind of prune them out. And they're doing pretty good. And my volunteer potato right there. Yeah, and then I had wheat in here also, and I bent it over so it can cure out in the strawberry patch, and I need to pick some strawberries. Looks like there's some ripe ones in there I need to pick. And my other strawberry patch way over there needs picked also. And if you look right here, that rhubarb is going to seed. I'm going to start me a whole bunch of rhubarb. Matter of fact, if anybody's interested in some rhubarb seeds, just hit me up with a message and we'll work it out. I still haven't figured out what this guy is. It's a wildflower. It grows out in my field, but this one is awesome. It's beautiful. If anybody knows what it is, I haven't actually taken the time to research and look it up, but I need to. It's pretty. And look at that Gaillardia. It's just blooming like crazy. I need to go over there and do some deadheading so it'll keep blooming. And then another thing, I really didn't think I'd get any this year because it bloomed, and then we had a late cold spell and it nipped off the blooms, but then it bloomed again. Looky here. Blueberries. I mean, I'm gonna get blueberries. They're all, some have more than others. This one doesn't have near as many, but it's got a few blueberries in there. This one is absolutely full of blueberries. Hopefully I can beat the birds to it. Ouch, I'm getting bit by some. Anyway, I plant stuff everywhere. I've got that rosemary right there, and that thyme right there, roselle right there, and here. I think that's a rutabaga. This is my chia. It's doing really well. We'll have to wait and see whether or not it'll go ahead and make seed. It'll be the first time. And I've got these sunflowers. They're the real deep, dark red, like almost, I don't know, burnt, purplish colored sunflowers I got from Haas Seed. And I stuck some tomatoes in here. Some more roselle I got from Haas Seed also. My pepper. My fennel. That's a burgundy, or I don't know what kind of fennel it is, but anyway, it's a brown fennel. And this is caraway, and something came through and ate the tops off of it. I don't know what would have ate the tops off of it. Evidently a deer came up here. And here's my main garden, in-ground garden. I've got my castor bean. I have probably half a dozen of them spread out around, trying to deter the stinking burrowing varmint. I went ahead and seeded. I'm thinking this might be butternut squash, but I can't remember. It's either butternut squash or cantaloupe. I don't remember. And I got onions in here. These are kind of slow to bulb. They're just now starting to bulb out. You can see. Another rutabaga, sunflower, blue scotch kale. I got the blue scotch kale seeds from Papa Pepper. And another blue scotch kale, some dinosaur kale. And this here is Roman chamomile. I think it's Roman. It's the kind that's perennial. It comes back every year. It gets a little taller than I had hoped. I was kind of, look at that. Wonder what he is. What is he? Good bug or bad bug? What are you? Good bug or bad bug? Anyway, we'll get rid of him just because I don't know. Anyway, it gets a little taller than I'd hoped. So it's not really a good ground cover, but it is pretty thick. And then I have a whole row of brassicas and beets, and I planted purple carrots here. And you know these silly things? They're going to seed. I just planted them this spring. They didn't even make carrots. They went ahead and went to seed first. So I'm going to save the seed. I'm going to try them again next year, or maybe this fall. And I got all kinds of volunteer dill everywhere. A volunteer borage. And then my beets are doing really well. These are different kinds of brassicas. Some of them are kale, some of them are Savoy cabbage, and my beets are getting pretty awesome. They're getting pretty good size. And I got a row of onions on each side right here. Turnips. Some of them are looking awesome. Look at there. I'll be picking them pretty soon. Let me see if I can get a good picture. Let's see. Right there. Look at them. I got some way bigger than that. Those purple top turnips. These, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking they was like a, I don't know if they're rutabaga or what they are, but they went to seed. They didn't even make a root, so I'm kind of disappointed with that. And then I have these awesome big mullein plants. This is 2-year-olds. They'll be putting up a spike. Matter of fact, this one over here is starting to. See it down in there? See it? Spike getting ready to come up, flower. It's going to be pretty, and they're very good for respiratory issues. This is Christmas bean, Lima bean. I got it from Haas Tool too, and I didn't know where to put it. I only had like 6 of them germinate, which, you know, might have been my fault, but regardless, I got some of them. So I stuck them here with this old dead pine tree I stuck in the ground, so they have something to climb. And then I have a whole row of awesome looking potatoes that are blooming. So it won't be long, I'll be getting some of them. Another castor bean, more turnips, and these are rutabagas. I know they're rutabagas. And then down here, where is it at? Oh yeah, right here. This is, I think this guy right here is a parsnips, but I'm not positive. But it's definitely different than a rutabaga and different than the turnips. So, and I did plant parsnips. Then I have a whole bunch of carrots. These are the carrots that I seeded where I put them in the cornstarch paste, you know, where I cooked the cornstarch, made like a gel, added the carrot seeds to it, and put them in a baggie and squeezed them out. I have a video about that. You have to look back at it. You know, it says, saw this on the internet or something like that. But anyway, it worked really well. Look how well they're doing. Anyway, and I got onions down along either side. Got some chard. That's a kale. That's a cabbage, cabbage, and some more chard. Then I have a row of tomatoes down through here. And looky here. Looky here. I got, oh gosh, 3 tomatoes in there and another one up here. Everybody's putting tomatoes on. I'm trying this Florida weave thing. Not sure if I like it or not, because some of these are determinate, which, you know, they need a little support, but they spread out, so it's kind of hard to weave them in. I'll have to figure out whether I like this or not. Anyway. Oh, right here. This guy right here, people call it a weed. It's black nightshade. It's called Nightshade negra, something or other. Anyway, it's also referred to as garden huckleberry. It is toxic. The plant itself is toxic. The berries, when they're green, are toxic. But when they get fully ripe and they turn really black and get kind of a dull, you know, shine or sheen to the berry, they taste like blueberries. You can make jelly and jam out of them. I do it every year. I let a few of them go every year just so I can pick them. I've got one right over there also. This spring I transplanted these guys. They came up and I decided I was just going to make a row of mullein. And I got another castor bean. And then over here, there's a marigold right there. I got these peanuts. Now they're struggling. I don't know. I had 4 plants in here, and where I put this, this is an okra. Where I put this okra, was a peanut plant, and something came through and popped that booger right out of the ground. I mean, it was gone. I don't know if it ate it or what. But I have some basil that I actually just threw some seeds in here. Some more okra over there. Then I got this celerac. It's doing really well. It's actually, oh, that's a weed. It's actually starting to develop a root. I mean, it's starting to get, I don't know if you're supposed to dig it away or not, but it's starting to get a root. And that's what you're going for, is the root. The root's what's considered edible. I have picked some of the tops and added for flavoring. They have a celery flavor. Here's another big old castor. And here's another one of those purple fennels. More cabbage. Purple Savoy, purple Savoy, purple, and onions on either side. And I planted peas in here, and they really got picked on by the aphids, so they really haven't produced much of anything. I pulled out all the ones that were really nasty looking and seeded some pole beans in there with them. So the pole beans will come up, the peas will be done, and I'll have pole beans. And then over here was another row of potatoes. These were just hodgepodge, oddball potatoes that I had left over from last year, you know, that I saved from growing them last year. I planted them here, and some of them was kind of sparse coming up. They got bit by frost like 2 or 3 times and knocked back to the ground and came back up, so I don't blame them. That's a wonder they are even growing. Then I planted these, are like either top crop or contender bush beans. I got them from the co-op, and they're doing really well. I'll show you down at the end what's going on though. And then I've got a row of peppers down through there. I got regular basil, garden basil, lemon basil. That's doing better than I've ever had lemon basil do before. And then a couple videos again I put on there about planting beans. And here's all the beans that were planted. And here's what kind of sucks about this whole thing. Is those look real good. But if you look here, see that? I have had deer or some kind of varmint come through here, and they ate the top off of this bunch, and I think these might have been dragon tongue. I'll have to look back at that video myself and see what they were. Left these kind of alone. These either didn't germinate real well, which I suspect they were just that bag of saved seeds that were, I didn't know what they were. Kind of left these alone, but these first 2 rows, look here, went through there and just nipped the top off of all of them. Almost 2 whole rows they ate down. That sunflower, I know it had to be deer because rabbits aren't that tall, nipped off the top right here, and it's coming back out. So we'll see if the deer will leave it alone for a while. I've got 2 rows of onions going up through there, and then I planted some, I think these are cantaloupes in the middle, but I only have 2, 3 that germinated. Then I have some more onions and some calendula up through there. And then down through here I planted sweet potatoes, but something is making Swiss cheese out of my sweet potato leaves. Now the new ones look pretty good. And I don't know, maybe it's just where they were stressed from the transplant and some varmint came in here and got them. I don't know. But we'll see. And, hang on. The only one of my field crops so far that's done anything worth even mentioning is this buckwheat. It is doing awesome. So if it makes seed, great. If it doesn't, it's still going to help the ground. I planted fava beans, and they came up real good, but they sure aren't producing beans. See, they're just shriveling up. They have really kind of interesting looking flowers. Let me find you one that's got a flower on it. Well, most of them, here's one right here. They're a white and black flower. It's kind of, oh, there you go. Kind of interesting. Anyway, and then out here, this is not doing too bad. It's my dent corn. Ouch. It's doing really well. And I planted greasy beans in amongst them. Plus I put some tomatoes down through the center, and as you can see over there, one's got a tomato on it already. And greasy beans, I planted a cantaloupe right there, red mustard. I think that's collards, red mustard. I think this guy's maybe it's either a rutabaga or a parsnip, and I don't know which. But anyway, the corn is doing pretty good. And then I planted another little patch of it right over here, and it's doing real well too. I put a motion sensor, motion activated light right there, trying to deter the deer. Deer and rabbits, they are the bane of my existence. They wear me out. I'm about ready to set up a blind out here and spend the night in the field just to see if I can't eliminate some of them. I should have also mentioned that this wheat that's in my garlic that I bent over, well, the garlic's going to be coming out soon. So what I did, the wheat and the garlic, was I went ahead and planted sweet potatoes in this bed. So they're like there and there and there and there. Anyway, I've just got them spread out around in this bed so that when I cut this wheat off and pull these garlic up, then I can let them grow and I'll get some sweet potatoes. Anyway, that's kind of the state of everything right now. Oh yeah, I stuck a little tomato right there too. I stick stuff everywhere. There's 2 peppers in there. There's a cilantro right there. It volunteered. And yeah, and my lavender is doing really, really well. And there's some more of that chamomile. So anyway, this is my Tennessee home. I'm Joe, and this is the state of the garden. It's towards the end of May 2022.